right, Demetria. So many know you from your prestigious acting career. You've done so much, had so much success. But talk about where you developed your talent in singing and when that came into play along the way.
Well, singing came into play before acting ever did. I've been singing since I was 3, whether it was good or bad. I was making everybody listen, and grew up singing in church, which is where I cultivated a lot of who I was, along with the love of every and anything the voice Whitney Houston had to say. She was a huge inspiration for me, still is, and I just want to add my little 2 cents to the $50 she put in.
Okay, and can you talk about your upbringing in church and how it influenced your music career now?
Oh, God, today. My upbringing in church. You know, church is an expression of love. And music in church was one of the main reasons that I really realized what love was. You know, when I didn't know how to express myself, music was my therapy, my boyfriend. When I was mad at my mom and couldn't get to my daddy, there was music. And Whitney was always a soundtrack to that. So coming up in church and realizing just what kind of a gift and love language that music could be, it really, really made me want to go for the gusto with it.
And and how was it performing concerts at a young age, and how did it prepare you for your music career now?
Actually, at a young age, I was terrified to do any kind of concert that did not involve my grandmama putting on her teeth and sitting in front of the pecan tree. I was just like, you know, this is for family only, because those are really the only people I trusted with it. As I got a little bit older and started singing in the church and in the choir, they got to the point where they were pushing me in the front to do the leads. And then I got to musical director, and then, you know, I got a vocal scholarship. So it was like each level happened in its own time and grace, but it was never a real push for it to be as public as I'm pushing for it now until about 4 or 5 years ago. That's when I was like, okay, you know what, I need to get into some of these open mics, and I need to really, really pay attention to how I perform. And so it didn't just entail the singing, but it entailed giving myself more so.
And I know you said Whitney Houston was one of your influences, but are there any other influences, artists who influenced your music career?
Absolutely. Other artists that have influenced me musically would be Chaka Khan, of course. I love Aaliyah. I thought she was amazing. Her swag was intense. Celine Dion can't pay for a bad note. She's phenomenal. But I also listen to Pink. I listen to The Fray. I listen to a lot of other genres of music, which I think make the melting pot that is me.
So we're loving your new single, Trade It All. You know, when we heard it, we were like, damn, this girl can sing, because we knew you from acting, and
Right.
we hadn't heard your vocals before, so we were really impressed. So just talk about the single a little bit.
Well, first off, thank you so much. The new single, Trade It All, was actually penned long before the Real Housewives phenomenon landed in my lap. And once Housewives came out and they chose to make the relationship that I wrote Trade It All about such a spectacle, I figured, hey, now's the time. Let's use what they made a negative into a positive. So Trade It All is definitely about my real life relationship with he whose name shall never be said ever again on television. And it's about being in love and being in love with the right person, but wanting that forever symbol in the midst of it, if you know what I mean. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's no bad, no qualms to it. But can we make this thing really, really forever, like we're saying? And then when I got an opportunity to do the video, I wanted to, again, capitalize on the reality that is not reality. You know, what people see on the reality televisions is just what they need for a storyline. They don't get to see the behind the scenes and the real dedication of the people in the mix. So shout out to Claudia Jordan and Cynthia Bailey, because we are genuinely, believe it or not, real friends. So thank you for showing up in the video, and thanks to you guys for the support of the song.
And you're also working on this EP, Officially Yours, I believe is the name. What can you tell us about that?
The EP is Officially Yours, and it basically is about a 6-song demonstration of what this diamond right here is. And I say diamond because every diamond starts from a rough place. Once you cut it, it forms a different color. Once you cut it, it forms a different shape. And all those colors, darks, lights, facets, all of those things make the woman that you see here and every other woman. And hopefully some of my colors will identify with some of the other diamonds out there.
And are there any artists you're looking forward to collaborate with in the near future?
Are there any other? Oh man, I would love to collaborate with everybody. Not just in my genre. I loved how Dido kind of paired up with Eminem. I love The Fray. I love Coldplay. But I'd also love to work with Drake and Nicki Minaj. You know, I'd love to be a skipper to your Barbie. You know, it would just be great to explore what all music can do and involve me in. So I'm open to all the possibilities.
You recently joined the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast, so what type of platform do you feel like it could be for your music career? Because we've seen shows being used to advantage of like R&B divas and things
Right.
like that. As a great platform to get artist names out there. How do you plan to use it for your music career?
It's the only reason I came on the show. Music was it. Doing House of Payne and Devious Maids and Necessary Roughness and Drop Dead Diva and all this stuff that I've gotten to do, people recognized the character, but they did not know who Demetria McKinney was. And so I came on to Real Housewives of Atlanta for my storyline to be my talent. That was it. And thanks to the show in Puerto Rico where I got to do a live performance with all the ladies in tow, my song 100, which had been out for a few months and really, nobody really knew about it, came from obscurity all the way to number 4 on iTunes in less than 48 hours. So I recognized the power of the platform, and I just got in there with tunnel vision in that thing because the shade, the drama, the nonsense, the broads, they can all get you. Aha! That's how y'all get caught in there. I'm getting in and I'm getting out, but I'm going to leave music as my mark.
We've seen you in so many television shows and in a lot of different type of roles. What are some things that we can expect as far as taking some of that energy and passion and making it, your stage presence and how you are as far as being on stage performing?
Wow, that's a great question. Each of the characters that I've gotten an opportunity to play, I pick them and I take them because I feel like I can learn from them. Walking in anybody else's shoes, if that corn develops, you might want to learn something from it. And getting on stage, I'm usually a shy person. I get nervous every single time. So getting on stage and having to harness that and realizing that fear is not necessarily something that conquers anybody other than those who surrender to it. And also recognizing that I have to put on this persona, this person that is in there, I have to bring that person out. So I've gotten a chance to really kind of hone in to the inner me's, if you will. And with all of the different music that I'm going to be doing, especially like tonight, you'll get to see a couple of the me's. The me's. Yeah, that's fun. You'll see the me's up there. So the acting has definitely helped to make sure that my stage presence is on point.
And then just final question, just looking beyond the EP, what are your plans for a full-length album? Do you looking to sign a deal? You're looking to do this independently? What are your plans in the future musically?
Right now I'm doing it independently with RTD Entertainment, and we've been grinding at this thing for 4 years. It's definitely a passion project, but I am looking at an opportunity for an independent situation with distribution. I'm also looking at labels. I've been taking meetings and everything, so thanks to God that the Real Housewives thing didn't leave me, shattered and crazy looking. But moving forward, I definitely want to continue to make more music. Now, recognizing that the landscape of music has changed, people aren't going out and buying CDs like they used to. Now it's more about EPs or singles and videos and visuals. So I'm just trying to be really smart about the next move, but it will not stop. I guarantee you that.
And then just one more for you. How much does the sound of R&B on the radio influence you, if at all? Do you just try to be true to yourself, or do you consciously think about this is what I might have to do to be successful, or this is a sound I might have to chase? Do you ever think about those things? Or
I try my best not to think about the sound I have to chase, because if I'm chasing it, it's already out there. I want to come in as genuine an artist as I am as possible. And that's been part of the reason that it's taken so long to get this music out. I've worked with a bunch of prestigious producers, but they wanted to make me the next Sierra, the next Aaliyah, the next Whitney, the next this, the next. They've been there. They've made their lane. I want my chance to write my name on the wall and people actually recognize a song that didn't sound like anybody. Now, inspiration, Whitney is that. Aaliyah is that. You might hear some flecks of them in there. But for the most part, I've been really, really trying to concentrate on building my own lane to my spot.
So dope. I really respect that.
Thanks. And I got to do sound check.
That was all we had. Anything you want to end with?
Thank you so much, SLBs, for having me. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. And you all can follow me at Demi McKinney on Twitter, at Demetria, 4 Real on Instagram. The website's DemetriaMcKinney.com. And Trade It All and 100 are both available right now on iTunes and Amazon and CD Baby and stuff. Bye!